Now that you are in a deep trance, we are going to give you a trigger, or reinforce it if you already have it. The trigger phrase is I am a lapras. If you use this trigger phrase, or if someone that you are okay with triggering you says the trigger phrase you are a lapras, you will undergo the transformation that you are about to experience again at whatever speed you want. Additionally, you will instantly turn back into a human if you use the reset phrase I am not a lapras, or if someone that you are okay with resetting you says the reset phrase you are not a lapras. Now your transformation will begin. First, feel a faint tingling sensation on your entire body as your skin becomes smooth, any hair that you have falling out and disappearing as it does so. As this happens, the front half of your torso and neck, the bottom half of your face, and the inner side of your arms and legs and hands and feet, turn cream-colored. As for the rest of your body, it turns a mostly blue shade of blue-green with a few small pale indigo spots scattered around it. Now, feel a pulling sensation on the underside of your torso as a short tail starts to grow. It is half as long as your upper legs are tall and starts out as wide as your torso is, but quickly gets narrower until it ends in a dull point. Just like the rest of your torso, the front half of it is cream-colored and the back half of it is a mostly blue shade of blue-green. Next, you feel a heavy weight forming on your back and tail. The weight follows the curve of your back, forming a thick and grey rock-like shell. On the bottom half of it both sides angle inwards 45 degrees, ending in a rounded point 1/4 of the way down your tail. Also, the shell curves inwards 2 inches in several places. It does so on the left and right halves of the top edge of your shell, as well as on the top and bottom halves of the edges on the left side of your shell, and on the bottom and top halves of the edges on the right side of your shell. Additionally, there are multiple cylindrical extrusions on your shell with rounded edges. They are 1/10 as wide and long as your torso is wide. The first set of them is vertically centered 2/7 of the way down your torso, and they are horizontally centered 1/10, 3/10, 5/10, 7/10, and 9/10 of the way along your shell. The second set is vertically located halfway down your shell, with the extrusions centered 1/7, 4/7, and 6/7 of the way across your shell. The last one is horizontally centered on your shell and vertically located 6/7 of the way down it. After that, your arms and legs start to get wider. From the top of your arms and legs to halfway down them they gradually get wider and form a curve along their edges. Halfway down they are 50% wider than they had been, and from there the curve continues as your arms and legs get thinner, reaching their original width at your ankles and wrists. Next, feel how your entire face is stretching forwards, forming a large, round, long muzzle. As this happens, your nose disappears, your nose holes shrinking down to narrow slits. As they shrink, they move down so that the bottom of them is halfway down your muzzle. Now, your nails are disappearing as your fingers and toes are changing, each one becoming a single flexible segment that gradually gets narrower and ends in a rounded point. After that, your ears start to change. They quickly become rounder, taking on the shape of 4-inch wide cylinders. Then, they start to grow longer, curving back and spiraling in so that they form a half-foot long spiral. Despite how different your new and old ears are, you'll find that your hearing is just as good as it was before your transformation began. Next, feel a round pulling sensation on the center of your forehead as a cylindrical extrusion starts to form. It is 1/5 as wide as your forehead is and 4 inches tall, and is the same mostly blue shade of blue-green that covers much of your body. Also, its edges are rounded and it points straight out. Finally, the effects of this hypnosis file will become inactive if they are a risk to your physical body or your well-being, if they are a risk to your social or professional life, if there is an emergency that they would prevent you from dealing with to the best of your abilities, or if they are a risk to your mental health. Also, any effect of this hypnosis file that was an issue will become active again once it no longer will be one. Additionally, you will never find this hypnosis file or the effects of it to be even slightly addicting. Now you have been transformed into an Anthro lapras, your strong shell resting comfortably on your back. This session is almost over, so goodbye, my blue-horned friend.